Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. On the agenda tonight, we're going to be looking at rock supergroup Chickenfoot and their version of Highway Star. And this is going to be Chad Smith on drums, Joe Satriani on rhythm and lead guitar, and Michael Anthony on bass and backing vocals, and Sammy Hagar on lead vocal. But let's get these guys up on screen and let's see how they get on. I'm just going to jump in here. The link to this is going to be in the description below so you can check out the whole song without stopping and jumping in like I am. But just first of all, the amount of talent that we've got on stage here is crazy. And in amongst all this talent, I want to draw your attention to the guy in the middle of the screen at the moment. I've chosen a good point to stop it because Michael Anthony, especially in that intro, just listen to his voice, the range that he's got. But more importantly, with Van Halen, whether you know Van Halen or not, he was the bassist and did those backing vocals and really gave Van Halen so much of their sound, even though he was in the background. And what I mean by that is obviously Van Halen being called Van Halen, everyone's going to be looking at Eddie for his tapping on the guitar as well, having such a unique take on lead guitar playing, but then also with a guy like David Lee Roth at the front of the band, having your frontman with that kind of personality and being such a showman. Michael very much was just in the background, but the sound that was given to Van Halen because of Michael Anthony can't be denied, and this is a great example of it, because in sections, just when Michael comes in with his backing vocal, it sounds like Van Halen. It's almost like his vocal is synonymous with the overall Van Halen sound. It's crazy how good he is as a backing vocalist, but I mean, just as a lead vocalist, I mean, you could put this guy at the front of the band, but he's very much just sat in the background and given so much to so many tracks and so many albums. Of course, everyone will know that Sammy sang for Van Halen as well, so these two know each other inside out. But when you've also got Chad Smith on the drums here, absolutely laying it down so solidly throughout, and you've got Michael, of course, they're going to be so tight together, laying down such a solid foundation. And when you've got that solid foundation, and then you just layer even more talent on top of it, you just can't beat it. Obviously, this is right up my street, Deep Purple and Chickenfoot, so much talent on stage. But Highway Star, what a legendary track it is. And when it's played like this, it just really does stand up on its own. And it's got all those little elements in there that are technically difficult to achieve. But when you've got guys that can achieve it, you really do get something special. And let me draw your attention to Joe Satriani on rhythm guitar and lead guitar. He's on this channel as well if you want an individual analysis of him and his playing. But the way that he throws together his rhythm and his lead, this whole band for me is the perfect mix. And what I mean by that is sometimes in a band you'll get 2 or 3 guys who have got an ego and they all want to be that center stage and be in the spotlight the whole time and just show everyone what they've got just throughout the whole gig. And Satriani is the kind of guy that is happy to take a step back, but then when he's needed, he'll take a step forward and absolutely steal the show and melt your face at the same time. You've got Sammy, who's a great frontman in his own right. Obviously, there's always going to be that debate with Sammy and David Lee Roth and Van Halen, but in this setting, in this scenario with Michael Anthony on bass, they work together really well. And this stage is absolutely full with showstoppers. And when you put this amount of talent together, the individual personalities of each member are absolutely critical, because you don't have musicians who are at loggerheads and are pulling in different directions. You can tell by their personalities that they've got that rapport, they're getting on, they're enjoying the music, and it's infectious. You can feel that through the performance, and all the great bands, they had that, and the real top bands had that element. It's just that extra factor that you can get loads of great musicians up on stage, but if they're not pulling all in the same direction, it doesn't gel, and it doesn't give that. It's almost like you can't put your finger on what it is with those real top bands who were just great friends off stage, and when they then play together on stage, you got that chemistry. And just another thing on Joe, what I love about his playing that I've mentioned in the video that I did on him individually is his sense of melody, but also the fact that he never overplays. And for a guy who's as technically advanced as he is, it shows such restraint, or should I say, such appreciation for music, just in general, and melody, and the way that music works, and not oversaturating people's ears with notes. He's very much bedded in melody whenever he plays a solo. And this is a great example as well. He just goes off into little sections where he's playing so melodically, and when there's a section that needs speed, he will absolutely produce it. When you get to a really top technical level of playing, everyone can now start to play at the same speed. They've all got that same ability to play, 12, 15, 18 or more notes per second. So how do you separate yourself from everyone else who can play exactly the same speed? They're separated by their expression and what they do when they're not playing fast. So let's get back into the video. we have it. What a fantastic version that was of Highway Star. And let's just throw this out there again, totally live, absolutely on it. And Joe Satriani, as a guitar player, he's one of those guys that you just want in your band because of his consistency. He is so great live. I haven't seen a bad performance from Joe. And something that I want to throw out there that people tend not to notice with four-piece bands when they've got a frontman is that we've only got a three-piece setup instrumentally here. We've just got guitar, drums and bass, and that is it. So, like I said, a lot of people don't realize this when it's happening, how much talent is going on in order to get this sound from three instruments. It just so happens that because Sammy's such a great frontman, you're really focused on him. Obviously, with the amount of playing and those backing vocals that Michael's laying down, it is such a great sound that you don't analyze these things, or at least you're not aware of them at the time of first watching a video, because it's so great. You listen to the overall sound and you just enjoy the art form. You just really do get into it. It's then when you take a step back and think, hang on, what have we actually got on stage here? Hardly anything. It's literally just like a three-piece. And another thing is that Sammy plays guitar as well, so he's got some chops if he needs them. I have done a video on Sammy where he is playing one of his own tracks, and he does get into a little bit of lead, so you can check that out on this channel as well if you want to. And I mean, that'd be pretty cool if he picked up a guitar, started playing some lead lines with Joe. But another interesting thing that came up there that I mentioned in a video a couple of days ago about having a lead vocal and then a lead guitarist, how you never hear a lead singer singing a different line to the lead guitarist. Generally, they'll do a scream or something in order to get into the solo, but then as soon as the solo starts, the singer is either quiet or, in this case, he's singing the melody lines and actually the harmony line of that lead guitar that Joe's playing. And it's one of those things that you can throw in there, gives such a great effect if you've got a singer who's good enough to do it. But as I said, I could be analysing this video all night. But if you want an individual video on Joe, that's on this channel somewhere, and there's one on Sammy too, so you can check out that one as well if you want to. But hopefully this video gets through on the copyrights, because YouTube has been crazy at the moment, but we'll see, time will tell. But thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at, and keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!